Wait a minute. You... Before I go any further, I thought I'd explain what I want to do, which you'll know because you'll have seen the thumbnail. I'm wanting to build an arm-mounted dart thrower. Cut this first bit of pipe out on an angle so that I've got movement in my arm, and then what I'm going to do now is I've drawn around there, as you saw. I'm going to cut that out, and then that'll weld onto there, and that'll cover the hand so a dart doesn't hit you in it, so it's nice and safe. So I need to do that, and then the rest of it, we'll just see.
Yeah.
Playing around with a few different ideas. I was originally going to mount this bar either side to have the handle going central, but I thought it'd look a bit plain-ish. So what I'm now going to do is I'm just going to have the handle mounted onto this one bar here, because it's just for retention. So now I need to work out where to cut this. I know you're probably thinking, what is this magical piece of equipment here? It's the new Artec digital MIG welder. It's probably the easiest welder that I've ever used. The setup's real simple. I'll take you through it. You can watch me weld some stuff, judge for yourself. But don't forget to check out Artec, linked in the description. It's beautiful. It's got nice, easy to use settings. You set the wire diameter, I've got 0.8 on mine, and then you set the thickness settings. I'm going to be working with 1.5, so then it automatically sets the volts and wire speed for you. Easy as peasy. As you can see, it speaks for itself. And the succulent welder. Seriously, since getting one of those welders, my welding's got better, but I ain't got better, so I assume it's the welder. You can also use stick and flux core wire if you don't have any gas, which is pretty handy if you don't have any gas. Don't forget to check them out and check out those new welders. They've just literally come out. I'm a special guy, so I got to use one for you. Off camera, I welded the end of that up and I cut into there so that it'll slot over this bar. And because this bar is slightly below centre, I need to weld this on an angle, which will be about there. Off camera, I've welded the handguard in place. I was going to put it on like a flapper lever so it could move around, but I thought that if I move my hand slightly it might come in the way of the darts. So I've welded that, and at least if the darts go off course, the top of my hand is protected. So now I need to run another one of these beams across here so I can cut this bottom plate out. And I'm going to use that to line it up. As you can see now, I've got all the arm brace together, and it looks nice now that I've tapered this bit slightly. So now I need to start the dart shoeing part. As you saw, I fitted the trigger mechanism on the back, but I've reversed it so that I can pull this to release. I've cut off the trigger tab and I've put a little hole there where I'm going to run a piece of string which will go in there, and then if you can see in there, I've got a slot which will come through the guard, and a piece of string will come down to my hand. I just now need to mark out where the slot is so I can drill this guy. Now I've cut the slot in there, I can go ahead with reinforcing this. So I've got two little caps here what I'm going to weld on front and back, and then I can mount the slingshot thingy majiggy. So here we have all the parts for the slingshot mechanism thingy for it. This is going to be the front arm, this is going to be the rear arm, which will hold the elastic retention spikes or whatever they are on there. So I need to drill that and then weld them in there. This front one I'm going to put some threaded rods, so I'm going to drill and tap these. I've already cut them down to the right size and rounded them off, and once I've drilled and tapped that, I can put some threaded rod in and work out the height that I want the roly-molies. So I guess I should just drill these now. I put some nuts on these screws to retain them while I weld the bottom, and then I can top it all off. Now this guy's cooled down, I can fit him on here. So I'm going to use this pin to locate the holes and then just clamp the back with this. I've welded the firing mechanism on there, but clearly it looks ugly as me. So I've cut off some of these bits of bar and I'll weld them in place on there so it blends in nicely. See you in a bit. I've welded the side plates in place, but look at how unsightly it looks. It looks like me naked. So what I've gone and done is made a template, and I'm going to cut a bit of stainless plate out and tig it all around the sides so it looks nice and beautiful, and it'll also give a bit of support to that because that looks ugly. I've given it a nice little clean out now, like a warm hot bath. So now it's time to put on the bearings and everything, ready to put the elastic on there. I've been faffing around with so many ideas for this trigger mechanism, and then I came across a pretty simple thing. I've done a loop there from the string and just over the hand guard, so you can still clench your fist and hold it and it'll be fine, but then as soon as you roll it, they're loose. Now I need to add the elastic.